Testing, testing. Bunny Bun 01. I like the way that rolls off the tongue. Hey yo, right back at ya. Good morning from the east. Hope everyone's doing well today. Welcome back to the channel. Well, weird might be up there for a gaming lounge, I'll give you that, but it's not the first time I've heard that. Alternatively, people like to say I sound like Ned Flanders. Maybe that's a thing. What do you think? Oh, and completely slipped my mind to say, thank you kindly for that compliment. I focused on the game. Only the first season. I think the pilot was really good, and I think they went a little too CGI afterwards, and me and my gal lost interest. We just couldn't continue with the show. We moved on to, I suppose, more mature dialect shows like Orange is the New Black back in the times. Yeah. I guess you could say for me, when I saw the giant CGI tornado of season 2, I very quickly lost interest. Yeah, and for the record, that has no emphasis on my opinion on the current events. Petitions and all that stuff for bringing stuff like that back I'm all for stuff like that. Look at that body block. So yeah, no, I'm actually a huge fan of the Hawkins map, especially as someone who does occasionally enjoy playing Killer. And I really miss Hawkins. I want that map back, and I never wanted it gone. I really did not care about the God Loops there either. It was just a small indoor map, and I'm a huge fan of the indoor maps. They add to the fear factor for me. Yeah, no, I really miss Hawkins. Dark Science Labs, come on, that was totally my thing. It's totally what made me fall in love with Stranger Things Season 1. It was just fantastic in every way. suppose teleports do it better. But when you're just staring down an M1 killer in the middle of a daylight field, it feels nothing short of embarrassing. Like, the killer doesn't belong there, the map doesn't belong there, the environment doesn't belong there. I mean, take, obviously all the, farm maps, for example. They got some good bounds, they got way too many jungle gyms, but they're too open. Like, the killer can be seen by one person from any part of the map, especially with stretch resolution, and it's like you might as well just stand in a corner because you're being watched the whole time. When it comes to outdoor maps, that's pretty much the theme of them, is you can be watched the whole time. It lacks the corners and nuance to be able to surprise people. And without that, this game really does not exist, especially in late game. You need to be able to surprise everyone. That's just my opinion, of course. Which actually, on that note, and a special note for myself here too, speaks a lot to why the devs are releasing non-stop teleport killers as of late. Teleportation may be subjectively the hot patch for large maps. Yeah, some of the dark ones are nice. Granted, a lot of them are really made for survivor fun to play. They still can be fun. I still enjoy them, and of course I started the game with them, so I can't hate them. I lived with them for a long time. This is good. Getting a little mixed up. Not worth it in 100 years. For those of you just tuning in, if you hear the terror radius right on top of you, don't stand there and wait to die. Hi, and thank you so much. Have a good day out there. still will not tell me what the lizard head means. What are you telling me there? Oh heavens. How is waking me up worth it? I can pull those off. Oh, yes, but thank you for the clarification. That way I don't have to actually look at it. The nightmare got us. I really hope I don't have to die today to budget bin Fred. Just started off here. How nice of her to let the killer know where every single one is. He's trying really hard to block this one. Yeah, this is kind of aggro Fred. I'm guessing no Ed Fred. Yeah, everyone who I play with pretty much throws or waits for me to die. It always ends like this. The only benefit of it is I can accumulate a ton of points on my own before teams generally just stop playing, throw, die, give up instantly, or whatever dumb illicit intent they try to do, or just lack experience, of course. Whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I die so much too, is these last 2-3 people just hide and wait for me to die. Like, I have to put in all the effort the entire game and let them get hatched. They're so deserving for not trying at all, usually. always the case, of course, but the roster for playing Survivor's not been great lately. Not at all. That hit would have saved us for a few seconds. That would have taken it away. Oh, I just wanted to pick her up. Anyone who tries always ends up in, yeah, kind of just trying to survive alone with me. I've won a lot of just 3-man onlys, on very rare occasion 2-man onlys, by just trying to play for the team, which is what I do, and just watch most everyone else not do that in the most toxic way possible usually. It's depressing. And yeah, for those who try with me, they're usually always going to be like right there next to me trying to win the game too. And I'll be right there next to them trying to win as well. No reason to quit at any point. I've seen one person, I've seen 2 people, I've seen 3 people easily win this game. It can be done. Giving up is not the correct concept for DBD. It's just the modern, very silly, petty meta. Which kind of foretells why I speak of the meta so poorly. It's in a sad state. Was I playing the Dredge? Because I was playing Dredge all day yesterday, and that was a bummer experience too against the meta. But whatever the case, hope you had fun. That also reminds me, we have the Adept, and Dredge is one of the is why we're here today. Kind of skipping my mind while I've been trying the new character. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I have everything. I made an effort to have everything in this game I love long before I had any thoughts about thinking about streaming anything. Streaming stuff came, the idea of it came years later after people would tell me things about my voice, say I'm charismatic, and I got tons of plus reps for just trying to survive as a survivor, usually. Very rare occasion, maybe 1 for playing a decent killer, because I'm usually rank 1, so I don't need to go excess and bully people out. I can give 1 hatch or throw and let 2 people escape if the game's going well. I don't really care either. You know, win, something I always say, win, lose, who cares? It's a game, it's not the point. Good luck, have fun. Sometimes it does get stressful because too many people throw, too many people are toxic, or too many people are bad, but you take the licks and you move on. It's kind of the price of playing a real game, playing an unscripted game, and seeing what really happens while it's not being manipulated by friends, headsets, and all that other nuanced stuff that allows the game to be relatively very easy for most people instead of the challenge it should be. Well, there's lots of reasons to do so. There's lots of reasons not to do so. It's independent choice. There's many different reasons, I'd imagine. Some people probably try to do it for fame. Some people like attention. Maybe some people like the projects, I imagine. There's a lot of fun you can have with it, too. It's pretty entertaining. Getting to play with all the different pics, icons, learning about everything. I've been having a trip. There are other people like me who just playing casually know for a fact we won't get any traction because we're not automatically popular, as is, people who just start streaming and get dozens of raids right off the bat. That really foretells of a world where there's no chance unless you're highly networked, in my opinion. So we just do it casually, and we do it because people often are very negative towards me. And that goes in the detail of who I am as a person, and that is expressed further in my Discord, which is why I post it every day if anyone's interested. Though you will have to read to learn about me. And it's not that big a deal. Point being, this is my safe haven. People can't ban me, people can't shut me up here for being right. And since I usually am cut out for somehow being correct, I got so sick of it, I wanted to be able to play and enjoy myself and socialize without all these toxic nuances of people in echo chambers being protected by lies. I'm so bored of it, I'm so sick of it, I created a Discord and I started TTVing for myself, specifically so these people cannot get in my way any longer. Now, the trolls can throw as much as they want, but as I always say, in 4+ years, they've never bothered me. And so, yeah, since I love gaming and gaming is a huge passion, I've decided to create my little bubble, this little safe haven from negative thoughts and negative people who just want to shut you up for the sake of shutting you up. It's really toxic out there, and it's very isolating if people do not understand you. And that's not a fun place to be if you're an individual. People should really ask themselves that. Anyway, bringing that full circle around back to on topic, anybody with a chill vibe is always a +1 anywhere, I'm sure. I think we all love a little bit of the casual and kind of chill vibes. There's a lot of aggro out there these days, and this game can get lots of PvP games can be really frustrating. A chill vibe, a good environment is exactly what the world needs right now, in my opinion. In my opinion, further, a serious lack of bullying moderation out there. I'm so sick and tired of it. And chill people who have a little bit of life experience, know how people think, know how the world works, need to be out there telling people these things, regardless. And it doesn't have to be a TTV or Twitch or stream or any kind of silly thing like that. People just need to be honest, real people. And if people want to read what I'm all about, that's what it comes down to, is being real, honest people, trying to create a bubble of real, honest people, because I'm sick of everyone else not being that. In my experience, even trying to enjoy TTV, I've been bullied out all the time. People are just not that. They're not honest. I'm sick of it. And so here we are. And not just an aggro thing, it's a completely chill, good luck, have fun thing too. I love this game, and I've played it for a very long time. Because they're not your personal friends, and that is a big experience in DBD. And no, your fun, nobody's individual fun supersedes the fun of others. It's a selfish, toxic environment. People do that. Not saying you guys do that or anything, I'm just saying people in general really do that. They do not consider the ramifications of bullying the living hell out of the individuals. So it's like saying it's really good to have fun, but people should all consider everyone having fun. You shouldn't just consider yourselves having fun. That means nothing to fair play. That means absolutely nothing to fair play, because it's an individual, selfish thing. And yeah, even if it's a friend group, it's just 3 individual selfish things, you know? And the reason for that is because no matter what the devs say, no matter what any community person says, it's a team. This is a team. You're supposed to play like a team, defend each other like a team, all that good stuff, you know? All those little nuances. I think that's what it really boils down to. So yeah, it's like, in my opinion, not playing as a teammate is the only true wrong way to play. That's another thing too, you know, it does not matter how experienced anyone is. Don't ever let anyone tell anyone that anyone sucks. Because the truth is, and that's part of it, part of being the team is what it boils down to. If you try for the team, that's all that matters. At least you tried. And if you did try, then you are already playing better than any meta trash out there that just throws or gives up or disconnects. Trying is really what matters. Being there for other people is what matters. It's no different than any real-world team activity. Play as a team, or you're really at Survivor, don't play at all. If you're playing for the killer or something, you are just horrible, horrible. You're throwing at somebody else's expense every time. And throwing at other people's expense is immoral and wrong. And since I've seen every single scripted game out there do that, that's why I'm here. I don't care how much I lose, because it'll never be fake. And I'm bored of fake, if you know what I mean. Well, thank you for agreeing. It's just kind of an in my opinion thing on perspective. You know, you can't assume what's real and what isn't, what's scripted and what's not. It's just, at least here, we know it's not. And here we get to know, like, absolutely that it's not. Like, when I go for Adept, yesterday at rank 2 to rank 1, I got bullied to all living hell, as anyone who really plays this game unscripted should. You're not going to get Adept instantaneously from trolls throwing or making massive mistakes at rank 1 instantaneously. No, these people come for blood. I went, I think, 12 plus matches before having a chance of getting it. That's so odd, but that's supposed to be the new one for today. Literally made sure to refresh that. Copy paste. Just something we'll have to fix later. Again, that's a very kind thing of you to say. I appreciate that. Any heads up, we are brand new here, is very much appreciated, just like any consideration. It helps a lot. Oh, PC all the way. PC all the way. I guess I could play on Xbox at any time. I never really did jump into it. Heavens, I basically threw this game chatting. Oh yes, this is PC. This is Model 1. There are 2 models out there, but I generally don't use Model 2. That's Igor, we named it, the big bazooka. And we don't use that one simply because it's beautiful, and what's the point? My stream isn't deserving of Igor. I don't get traction or love from anyone. I figure, why waste its potential? But the potential is there. That's a very modern, I think 21, 22. And that's all I really care to say about it. I'm not the kind of person that likes to share my specs or anything. People don't like me often, so I get targeted a lot. I don't really care to share too much on certain things, you know? I played Xbox for years. I'm at 86k achievement points. I had to give up because I had to work for a living. That's all. And when I did work and started settling into my new lifestyle, gaming became very second nature and too time consuming, so ended up not playing a lot. Xbox became more all about TV. Couple years later, after earning my way, we treated ourselves to this beautiful PC. And we named this one Jolene because it steals my lady's man. And this was our reward to ourselves for working really hard for 2 years straight, and so we got it. Just kind of got Steam and started playing ever since. Started on there was one game before DBD that we played not much of, but it was a good scary one very early on Steam, and then we bought DBD right after and played that pretty much ever since. They can have that, because I really didn't try at all. I just chatted the whole time, and that's something else that, as a new streamer, not going to be used to, is chatting and paying attention. I actually killed one? When did that even happen? All I can say is it was a waste of a Mori. I should have focused more. We'll try again, though. Sacrificial knife. That actually looks relevant. It's the first thing I've seen look relevant. Oh, absolutely. We have one rescue going on 4 years old now. I think 5 this year, maybe. Yeah, I think 5 this year, maybe. She's a domestic stray, a very pretty cat. And yeah, she was a rescue. We saved her. We could not save her younger sibling. It's a very nasty, very contagious infant cat issue that they had. So isolation was the only option. And that's all we really care to share about that one. But she's a rescue. She's a beautiful cat, and we love her. Her name's Rascal. And we can get some pictures up in the future of her in her little Santa suits and whatnot on the Discord. We used to have them up, but that was before, like I said, the story of what I say in the Discord, because that's all entirely true. That's what happened, so all that stuff was erased. How about yourself? A pet person? When I was younger, we raised pets all our lives, so I've actually had many pets. Just most recent in my own, on my own life. Just a cat, really. Aw, that's lovely. I think I would stand with anyone here agreeing. We all say thank you for that. That's one of those lovely things to do. That's something that we did in my family when I was a child. That's something we did, was try to nurse animals sometimes back to health. That is a lot of pets. I don't know how you manage. It's like having 8 whiny children. That must be so fun. I think that's true. New streamers do tend to value the chat more. And it's not always an intentional thing by old streamers, I think, either, by the way. I feel like on that note that just more experienced streamers sometimes get so much traction, there's no hope of them keeping track. And it's true, you really can't indulge the audience on a one-on-one basis when there's so many people trying to chat with you at once. It becomes impossible and unfortunate because, yeah, going in from an outside perspective, people do tend to get ignored a lot. So they can really miss that individual connection or chat with a person that's genuinely interested, and that's unfortunate because lots of people are genuinely interested and lots of you do the best you can. I think it just cannot be helped when there's so many. Exactly. There's no, in all respects, there is no world, there's no advanced tech in which you can expect any individual to be able to touch on individual conversation in such a mass spectrum. I mean, for me, I love answering questions and I don't mind chatting with people at all, but you know, obviously you can't do that when there's like 27,000 at once. That's like, it's really no mercy, you know what I mean? One of those unfortunate realities. I think, could you imagine people even trying? If you tried to respond to everything, you'd probably just sound like an automated machine at all times. And you'd never be able to stop or pause. Your breaths would have to be very well entwined with you constantly replying to. No time to breathe for sure. Anyway, for those of you just tuning in, we're just bringing you a little back and forth, new killer, new survivor play, new cosmetics. It's all very, very cool. Win, lose, who cares? It's a game. Just have fun out there. So you got a bunch of angsty or not angsty cats. I think cat siblings are always such brats. They're always fighting each other. Let's see what happens if we try. Exactly. There they are. Fear my highly reduced speed. team has no intention of giving an inch the entire game. They're going for a 3-gen spread before my first down. And as we can see here, there's absolutely nothing I can do but let them enjoy it. The reduced speed of the character, special note, allows for vast abuse of the game and overall map. How would you pronounce that? Gatina? Gatina? It's a unique name. I've never heard that one before. We got some Italian names in our family ourselves. Cheyenne is an example of that. Thanks, you bullies. They really thought. Now I think we're just gonna go ahead and casually win. Just kidding. It's still gonna be a rough ride because people are pretty good, it seems. Special note, not waiting for him to go to second hook. Might as well have been throwing the game. Could have won there. well, we got our Mori. GG. So, I guess, do you raise and release, or do you just really keep them all? Would be a good question there. Oh my. I'm sure that keeps you busy. That is absolutely, naturally what we love most about our cat, our rescue, is her personality. She is very attitude. It very much shows, and it's very much why the name was chosen. This little girl would try to scratch and bite me when trying to feed her as a baby. She does not like being held unless it's her choice. She's a very independent woman and will not stand for anything less. It's hilarious to us, it really is. We love her for it at the same time. Oh, is it one of those that baits you with kindness and then just wants to eat your finger? That's what ours does when she wants to play, and she very much loves to play with me, so I'm the one that gets all the scratches. Oh yeah, yeah, I know it well. I know it so well. We keep alcohol pads literally on hand for that. Not gonna lie, when she was a baby, when she was learning, I woke up to a scratch on my forehead, unfortunately. And that took like a week plus to heal. Those cat claws do not play around. No, not at all. We clip them every week. I think about maybe, yeah, every 5 days, I think. And it really does not matter. In 2 days, she's she's ready. She's ready to maul and be the little tigress she wants to be again. It only takes a day or two. And to that extent, we basically, like anybody, naturally gave up more than like once a week, tops. She ate your headset. Oh, so yours enjoyed chewing rubber as well. That was an experience for us too. It took over a year to get her out of that. If it was plastic, if it was rubber, you gotta chew the living hell out of it. I don't know why. I don't know what the fascination is, but it is. It's just so satisfying for them to puncture, or try to puncture, I guess. But I'm really glad that ours grew out of that a while ago, especially in the summer days where it'd be nice to run the AC. Hope that charger isn't Apple, because they haven't swapped over yet, to my knowledge. You're gonna have to buy a brand new specialty type. Oh, headset, yeah. Legit just locks the locker in front of me and casually walks away. Oh, how are those? I never tried them. Failed hard, but looked good doing it in the new cosmetic. That's good to hear. I always kind of expect good things from Google. Dredge so far. I noticed as a survivor, the game's almost easier and quieter when Nightmare is in effect. Sure looks to me like most players abuse that fact. Also, the Void gave them the excuse for another speed reduction killer, so any survivor with some common sense at hand can easily abuse even small loops with you sometimes. And that's been very consistent in the last 2 days, so looks like that stands as very true. It's just another slow killer to abuse. I've seen people do some weird teleport and insta-down shit that doesn't seem to... I don't even know how to work it yet. That's fun stuff. And of course, the entire theme for both sides is authentically scary, and I do feel that's a big part of what they went for with this killer release was an authentic fear factor for both sides, something new, something real. It can legitimately be spooky here and there. I think they nailed that pretty well. Like I say many a times, a 0 pip for a 3k is basically trash. You might as well not play killer at all to get a 0 pip for that much effort. It's kind of disgusting. On the other hand, GG, well played everyone, was a good game. Nobody's jumping the gun too much. I've heard background crying a lot about just the fact that the Dredge is able to teleport at all. I, as many should be when playing killer, would be worried that they nerf it even further, because already the meta has shown me that just having the common sense to lock lockers casually with your infinite locks is more than enough to really shut down its power entirely. You can't do anything, you can't stop anything when there are no lockers anywhere near any of the gens, which is easily turned into null and void, and you're forced to regular gen guard like a 4.5 killer while being a reduced speed killer, while anyone who's not stupid simply locks the lockers and voids all form of fair or surprise play. And that was yesterday's experience. It seems this killer is easily rendered absolutely worthless. But that's my opinion and assessment. Others may not be the same. So far, I've noted quite a few special factors. The Dredge's reduced speed creates an environment where it is in fact easily abused and manipulated by people. Being able to lock lockers at all null and voids the surprise factor for anyone with the common sense to lock a locker. So heavily reduces any form of fear factor there. You can infinitely lock all lockers between 4 people, so it's really it's a non-issue for teams that want to play at all. Unless they're basically throwing, they know what to do. Not really a real issue. It's a maybe low meta. You get those fun surprises in very low meta, but nobody with any form of common sense is going to make the mistake of not locking lockers against this guy. Which, and then I guess brings me to one of my final notes, is Nightmare effect. Well, other people say this could be powerful. I disagree. Every time I'm in it, I've noticed it actually, and I've played it on both sides, so I've seen it as Survivor, and I've used it quite a few times as Killer now, and really, it creates a very quiet, very clean kind of dark background. So unless the killer is directly chasing you, it's almost like the map is just kind of settled down and almost more calm to navigate. And for me, that creates a non-existent factor. It makes Nightmare virtually non-relevant. I certainly saw no relevance when using it, trying to get adept or otherwise. Survivors don't really show much for fear. I've seen a lot of confusion as of late, but as of today, there hasn't been a lot of strong meta at all, so not like yesterday where every single team was Sweat Squad standard. Oh yeah, I'm not really the person that's ever going to agree with a killer ever being fair or balanced, because the game's passion and the community's passion is to bully one person, an individual, trying to enjoy the experience of this killer. And every nerf that you all introduce to the community just further ruins that experience for any killer. That creates a dynamic where that's why I retired killer. There's no reason to play trash that should just stare in the corner and always get abused. Nobody wants to always be abused, and it's kind of an ignorant concept that the maps, the headsets, the players, and everything around it is kind of made to abuse the power role instead of the power role being able to much abuse anything. I may have started as killer, but I don't have biases for any side. I don't care about any of that. It's all childish breadcrumb nonsense, in my opinion. Nobody ever wants to touch on the real issues, like the fact that pallets were doubled in every map a long time ago now, and every map was already made, so any individual survivor can abuse a killer enough for the entire team to win. And I've proved that many a time, and I think many a TTV have proved that to everyone many a time. So there really is no arguing it. The nuance of people being less experienced is not a real world unless you're literally intentionally goofing off. It does not exist. Everything else outside of that pretend spectrum is high meta and Sweat Squad, and they are not nice. They all use headsets, and they do try to bully you. It's not fun. It's not a good experience. It's why I quit killer for over 6 months this time around, and it's not the first. I've quit for a span of over a year and a half at times. It's just plain stupid to entirely bully the power role. I don't know why anyone would pretend that's fun, aside from pampering people for ease of play, which I never understood, because the 4-man side is the ease of play side. Everything about it is easy and comfortable. There's no denying that. It always has been, too. When I started Survivor, some year or two after starting DBD at all, it was like the fucking very easy mode of DBD entirely. I felt like it was basically cheating without exploits. You could just cruise through the map. Every game will be done in 3 minutes, provided the team gives a damn at all. Any team that doesn't finish the game in 5 minutes is not really trying to win the game anyway. Usually throwing or goofing off or having fun or less experienced. But that's not how real games work. In the real DBD, everyone walks out of the game in 3 minutes. A single chase does pop 2 to 3 gens, and a killer being reduced to any speed under standard is absolutely ignorant, because Bloodlust can't even catch up to people. Which I've proven in previous videos, making people watch a reduced killer chase someone at a small loop at tier 3 Bloodlust for over like a minute straight. You cannot catch them. It's that stupid. that's just something I don't really care to touch on too often regardless, because it's a situational game anyway, so that's one thing. And the other thing is nobody's ever going to accept the reality that this game is made for 4 people to bully one person, and it's unacceptable. And since nobody's ever wanted to accept that reality in 4+ years, I long ago gave up on that. It's undeniable, irrefutable fact, but since nobody wants to own it or accept their bully mentality, it just never comes to light. So there's no real point in talking about it. Let's just have good games and get abused as the power role every single game. As you can see here, these people are not going to make mistakes. They are not going to make accidents. There will be no such thing as screwing up. This person here would not even need a pilot at the shack and would still be able to loot the shack for quite a bit. If they took the window, which they didn't, they took the straight line, which is shorter. This is another great example too. Now I could stand here and everybody would call that tunneling and camping and whatever. But a team here, a real team, anybody playing as a team, they will all be able to come over here, BT him, body block with an additional person, which they will do. They won't do that for me in solo ever, but they will do that every single game I play as killer. And they will get off scot-free even if I'm standing right in front of them. And there is absolutely nothing that will stop that, especially if they have DS. Yeah, you're not alone there. I gotta wrap things up myself for a little bit too. Thinking we were gonna do that at noon. This will probably be the last game for a bit. A little early. A little life care is needed before we continue playing around or anything like that. Now this is really the first mistake they've made all game. 1 gen left, 2 hooks, and I'm going to go ahead and capitalize on it. And as a killer, anybody who plays killer, you'll know there's really no reason to do anything else. You go over to try stop the gen, you'll never catch them. You'll just lose a gen somewhere else, and you will lose 100%. It's very stupid, it's very boring. I think there's somebody to pick up, so I don't really have to... The person on the ground, so we'll just chase somebody else. For the sake of that so-called fairness that yields in nobody ever getting any points as the power roll. Now they're starting to crumble a little bit, so things are throwing a little bit. You'll see here is somebody we did not see the entire game. Now that would happen a lot in Meta too. You'll never find people if they don't want you to. I'm really good at shadow tactics myself. I could say sometimes, you'll never find me if I don't want you to. That's how easy it is to abuse a killer, in my opinion. by effort or sheer coincidence, any locker by a gate will be locked anyway. So you will never catch them off guard at the gate, even when Nightmare. Unless they're very stupidly standing way in front where you absolutely will get them intentionally. I can even throw in another example right here. See, these people take a hit right in front of you because there's absolutely no fear whatsoever. She absolutely will make it through the gate no matter what, as you can see. And that was all the way across the map. That means all the way across the map after a hit, you still had 0 chance of catching a survivor at all. That's what the real game looks like. It doesn't look like what you see on TV. It really doesn't. This is what every single game played looks like, and should look like. Only reason, for example, a killer gets tie more often, a 0 pip now, instead of a negative pip, is because the survivors will win more often now. It is built that way. Like I said, in casual, we throw all that to the wind. So for those of you just tuning in or still with us, it's been some fun dredge games. We're going to wrap it up for a little bit here, and we will return within the hour, perhaps. Thank you all for watching. We really appreciate any consideration. Special shout out to BunnyBun01 for keeping us company during the chat. Really appreciate it. It was fun. Appreciated the conversation. It was a nice one. Had some fun games while doing it. Good luck. Have fun out there, everyone, and take care.